Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on MLG's Shattered Temple. We are in the round of 8 currently in tonight's Novice Open or Novice Arena. It is going to be Thius versus Frieza. Thius is going to be our pink Zerg spawning down here at the 6 o'clock position. Up here at 12 o'clock we do have Frieza spawning as blue Protoss. Now Lord Frieza has played in these. Thius saying hi, Mom. That's funny. But Frieza has played in our tournament before. He does have a couple other friends playing in the tournament, so I'll be excited to see when we're going to see some of these friends colliding. That will be kind of interesting. It's kind of like clan mates and friends battling it out. And at the end, hopefully there's a good old-fashioned bro hug. It says, good luck in the rest of the tournament, brother. But in this case, he is going to be battling it out against somebody who is new. I have never seen Thius play before. New to alt Starcraft, that's for sure. And but he is definitely going to have a run for his money here against Frieza. Frieza doing a lot of work so far. I hear that he is practicing pretty hard and trying to get really, really good at this game. Just barely placing, though, in this last season as silver, I believe. So is going to be a silver versus silver here. Let me just check, make sure it is silver versus silver. 1 second. Checking the website. No, Frieza actually is bronze. That's strange. So Frieza is bronze, but Thius is silver. So good stuff there. We do have what appears to be a decent looking wall in here for Frieza. However, that is 2 units here. 2 units. So he is going to have to choke that down or put 2 or 3 zealots there on hold position. So this is a little bit of a less effective wall off here. I tend to recommend that you put the pylon in this position here and then put your gateway here and then your cyber core here. And then leave just 1 spot. You don't want to have 2 there. That way you can block it with just 1 of your zealots. So a little bit of a tip there. I hope that Frieza will pick that up here a little bit later. And we'll see how that's going to go. But we do have the spawning pool going down here after the hatchery. Notice that was a fast expand here for Thius. So going to be working on that economy here for just a little bit. Going straight to his 2-base play. But spawning pool going down in fairly decent time as well as a gas. So going to, I assume, get that metabolic speed boost out ASAP. There's going to be a drone transfer. Oh, never mind. Not a drone transfer yet. That's not quite done. Going to snipe the probe. Ooh, Thius already going for a kill. Up 1 kill on his opponent there. Got to love it. But we do have the cyber core going down for in pretty decent time here for Frieza. But notice that this is not a Zergling tight wall. So he has got to be careful, careful, careful here. This guy is not on hold position anyway, so that's another thing to note, that if you don't put your zealots on hold position, if they are blocking that wall off, then you tend to not have a wall off. So you got to keep them on hold position. Always a good thing to remember. We do have the warp gate tech started here and chrono going down, so that's really, really good here for Frieza. Notice he is getting his 2nd gas, so it appears that he is either going to tech or go for a lot of sentries here early in the game. Either choice is good, I think, versus Zerg. So we do have a drone transfer here for Thius. Going to be getting his natural saturated here pretty dang well. Let's just check in on the units tab. It is even on the economy here for just a little while. We'll see who's going to eventually take the lead there, if at all. We do have that metabolic speed boost on the way. Notice that he is still mining gas here, though. Thius didn't cut the gas production, so that could mean that he is going to be going for some roaches here in just a little while. Now we do have what appears to be 10 Zerglings, yes it is, cruising out across the field. This could be a little bit problematic here for Frieza. He only has 3 zealots, which should be able to take him out. However, they will be getting a decent surrounds here, so he's got to move these guys to this position here, try and engage at the choke, and here come the Lings. Does not want to have these guys in his base. And looks like this poor neutral supply depot is going to go down. This is good here for Frieza. He's going to be at a decent engaged spot here. We do have 1 sentry out on the field. It did lose 1 of those zealots, though. And looks like Thius does feel like backing out here. Doesn't want to engage this. Looks like these double sentries may be just enough here to hold these guys off. He could potentially toss down a force field if he wanted to. And what I would do is let these zealots walk down, go ahead and force field here so they can't get a run by. Now that would be good. But all in all, pretty decent tech pattern here for Frieza. He does have a lot of minerals, needs to be spending these as quickly as possible. His cyber core, or warp gate tech rather, is complete, so we hope to see him get that here right away. Needs to go ahead and queue something up from this Oh, this robotics facility. Oh, never mind. He's going to be waiting. He's going straight for Colossus here off one base. Now, that, as a rule, you've got to be very, very careful, I think, trying to make that happen. Do have a bunch of Zerglings cruising in here, but they are all going to die. Looks like Frieza in pretty decent style here with those sentries doing a great job holding that off. It just was a little bit too late for Thius to get that run by. He should have done that a little bit earlier, all in all, but that's okay. Looks like he is going to be sending out 4 more Lings here. And going to try and poke up. Oh, nope, he's just going to camp here at the Zelnaga Tower, which is not a bad idea either. Let's just check in on the units tab, see where we're at economically. Thius does have a rockin' economy here at 28 drones, 22 probes for Frieza, so Frieza probably going to need to either go for an attack here in the next couple minutes or take an expand. He is a little bit late on that expand and potentially a little bit late on a timing attack here as well, so he's got to be careful at this point. So when his attack does take place, he needs to make sure and do a decent amount of damage. Now that's going to be difficult considering that Thius already working on a whole bunch of roaches here. And now the Colossus will be good DPS. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think this is a nice tech pattern. However, it is difficult to pull off on one base, and there he is going to be securing a second, but difficult to pull off on one base, and you've just got to be so careful in producing your ground army. He's a little bit behind here, I think, in the ground army, as well as the economy. So, I mean, that's going to come into play the longer he waits. He is droning up, or probing up here pretty well, but so is his opponent, and here comes a roach attack. Looks like a couple Lings going to be cruising through here, going to try and get this army a little bit out of position. We do have one Colossus on the field, going to have to get this guy down into the battle. We do have a go time here, but it looks as though Thius backing out immediately. So interesting play here. He is going to be backing out, maybe going to pick up a couple reinforcements and try again, either that or secure another base. We'll see what he's got planned for us here in just a moment. Does have a decent amount of roaches here in the center of the field, though. We do have this observer for Frieza is going to be cruising out to gather a little bit of intel. We'll check in on him for just a moment. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's see what we've got here. Bunch of overlords. We don't have any real new tech here, except for we did get a spire go down, and it is going to be Mutalisks out on the field here in just a moment, so that's going to be kind of fun. Mutalisk and Roach. Not often you get to see that combination, but it could be potentially fairly effective here. Now Frieza does have a decent amount of AA, and it looks as though he is going to be pushing this attack here in just a moment, which is not a bad idea. I think at this point he needs to get the rest of his forces together. I think this is a lot of roaches for that small force to deal with here, especially when they get some reinforcing Mutalisks, which they've already got these 4 here, and a couple more. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I do think that Frieza might be overextending himself here. That's a lot of roaches. Looks like this Colossus is going to go down very, very quickly. Good force fields there, actually, is going to save him just a moment there, but going to have to back out. Unfortunately, these sentries here not quite fast enough to escape these quick units here coming from behind, and it is about to be a defense time for Frieza. Got to get out some more defense here, that's for sure. Is working on another Colossus. Going to be working on some new probes as well, but this would be a great time to counterattack for Thius, I think. Either that or begin some harassment. Not a bad idea either. Looks like these roaches going to cruise around here and gear up to take the gold expand, so not a bad play there. And this is going down in pretty decent time, so we've got to give Thius a lot of credit here. He's playing pretty well right now. Do have these guys coming in here. They are going to try and deny this expand, so not a bad play there. Frieza did lose one stalker there, trying to be very cost effective, though. I like that play. Got to try and keep as many of these units alive as possible. Just blind this guy, and then you don't have to worry about these guys. There we go. But the Nexus is soaking up a lot of damage right now, so that's pretty nice, actually, there for Frieza. Frieza going to be cruising in here with his units. Does need to get that Colossus, though, in on the fight. Gotta be careful. You don't want to just get these guys overextended. He really needs that DPS at this point, especially against these roaches. A fairly robust unit here. Gotta be careful. But he did hold that off. However, he did lose his expand. Now, that absolutely going to be working against him. Let's just check in on the use tab. Note he's got 33 probes to 38 drones, so still a little bit of an economic disadvantage here, as well as the potential problem of he's just stuck on one base, and that really could could hurt him here going forward in the next 2-3 minutes. He's got to either take another base or mount a counterattack, and that's going to be difficult to do as well. So Thius here is massing up a pretty decent-sized army, it appears, and may choose to go for another attack. But in the meantime, he is going to cruise out with these 5 Mutalisks and go for a counter harass here, which is a pretty dang good play. And Frieza is going to have really, really good reaction time here to deal with these guys. These guys don't need to be working on pylons, though. They need to go straight for the mineral line. Notice that Frieza does react very, very well. Going to warp in some stalkers here and blast these guys out of the sky as quickly as possible. Get those guys out of your base. So nice defense so far from Frieza on that. Got to love that. He still has all 5. He did back out in pretty decent time here, but is going to be securing his gold here as well. So Thius, I think, in phenomenal shape. We do... Ooh, I heard something. Oh, there it is. It is going to be an overseer. Okay. And we've got more Mutalisks on the way, as well as a counterattack headed out across the map here. Thius going to be pushing out with a whole bunch of roaches. A couple of Zerglings there as well. And I think that could go potentially well for him. Just depends on the positioning. If he engages right here at this point, while Frieza's got this high ground advantage, that could be difficult for him. But needs to get in there. It looks like this is going to be a decent counterattack here. See, now look at this. Frieza got to get these Colossus in on the fight. There we go. By luck. But this is a decent place for Frieza to be defending this. And I think that Thius is going to lose more than what he should potentially here because of that positioning. Now he's going to back out there quickly. He notices that his roach numbers are starting to dwindle and going to try and snipe this Nexus. Now Frieza getting all of his units down here to try and deal with that, but look at what's happening at his mineral line in the main. We've got these Mutalisks headed back in here. They are taking out the entire economy of Frieza. Now Frieza in absolute trouble here at this point. Probably needs to go all in. He doesn't have tons to do it with, and Thius in great shape right now. So I'd say we should see a GG here fairly soon. Unfortunately, it is a best of 1, which will mean that Frieza is out of the tournament. Oh, it's going to be sad, but that's okay. Thius showing a lot of strength here, so might need to watch out for this guy headed towards the finals. But all in all, right now, it has been a phenomenal play, and here is the last ditch effort from Frieza, going to try and make this stick with his all-in, and that is a pretty decent idea. So hopefully he can make something happen here. But it is going to be tough, especially because Thius can reinforce this so very well. Now, I don't think I would put these roaches up on the high ground. That tends to be a bad spot because these Colossus can spot the high ground. Nice kiting here from Frieza. A little bit of kiting anyway. And that DPS from the Colossus coming into play there pretty well. But it does look like he is going to get cleaned out here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about to be a game. Too bad. Look at that critical number here of these Mutalisks. Going to be able to take everything out. And there it is. GG from Frieza. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys next time.